Maine Community College. My name is Amy Lee. I'm the Director of Admissions at SMCC, and we are here with Brittany Williams. Brittany was a student here at SMCC, a graduate, while a student. Why don't you bring us your evolution, actually, of your time here at SMCC?
Yeah. So I started SMCC back in 2009 as a student. I worked in residence life for a while, and then kind of fell in love with the campus. So ended up getting involved in working in the office here, and over the years just progressed. Worked in the advising office for a while, transitioned to admissions for a while, and then actually have been teaching some classes here too. So I've done a little bit of everything since I've been here at SMCC, from the student side to the professional side to the faculty side. So it's been a transition.
I would say that Brittany's helped thousands of students enroll at SMCC, so we're excited to have her here so she can give her expertise on how easy the process is to become a student here. This is getting close to the spring semester, which starts on January 14th. So it is not too late to apply. SMCC admissions and registration, the campus center, advising, financial aid, we are open throughout the break. We are closed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But otherwise we're open 8 to 5. So we welcome you to call, to email, or to stop in to enroll. And you can really enroll all in one day. Do you want to walk us through what it's like to apply at SMCC?
Yeah. So I think the mission was to sort of talk about how easy it is, and I would say that having gone through this process, not only myself, but I help students go through this process every day. It's pretty simple. I don't know. What we ask for here at SMCC is different than what a four-year university might ask for, or what a larger college might ask for. We need the application itself, which is a quick 2-page application. I don't know, maybe like 20 questions. It's not too bad. You can do it right online, so there's an online portal that you don't even have to log into. You just go right to our portal page, our homepage, and it directs you to the application. Takes about 10-15 minutes to fill out. It's not too bad. And then this month, actually, we're waiving the $20 application fee. So if you're interested in coming either for fall or spring, well, spring is what we're focusing on right now, but if you're interested for next fall, we're waiving it for everybody. So the application, waived fee for this month. We also require you to provide proof that you've either graduated from high school or you're going to graduate from high school before the semester begins. So a copy of your transcript or diploma. And the easiest way to get that to us is either via email. You can take a high quality photo, you can scan it to us, have your high school send it to us. If you have it in your folder back at home in a storage unit, just take a nice picture on your picture phone and email it to us at the admissions inbox. And then the last thing we require is, we need to see that you're at the college level in English and math for placement. So English, we either need you to show proof that you have met our SAT score requirements, Accuplacer score requirements, or any other kind of testing. And then or you can show proof that you've taken an English class at another university or institution. So if you went to another community college or university previously, and you finished your English and maybe you even finished your math, you'll give us your transcripts and we'll use that to replace the testing score.
Great.
So
we're gonna post in our comments a checklist, a link to our checklist, which is super easy. Regarding the testing, I think that it's important to know if you have SATs that are 5, 10, 20 or more years old, we still accept them. You don't have to officially go through the College Board. You can provide us with your copy, or your high school can provide a copy. Or you can take a test here on our campus called the Accuplacer. That is a free test. It is really just for placement. We want to make sure that you're ready, that you're going to be academically prepared. And our website does have some practice tests that you can do. It is not intense like the SAT. It is not a high anxiety test. And my favorite thing is it's untimed. So you can take your time and take it, and you can take it more than once if you need to. So really get rid of that anxiety. No essay, no letters of recommendation. Again, we are just looking to provide access to everyone who wants to go to college. A group that I'd like to mention is if you went to college out of the country, the only additional step, if you're a Maine resident, is that your proof of high school is translated into English, and that can be done through an organization like Catholic Charities or another translation organization, just to make sure it's translated into English. So really, we're looking to remove all barriers that someone might be worried about.
Yep. We have a lot of students that come in and you know, talk to us at the front desk and say, I'm really nervous, I haven't been to school for a while, or, you know, I wasn't sure that I was ready for college, and they come in and they ask us the process, and really we can get it done right there. If you bring in your high school proof and it takes a few minutes to fill out the application, we can have it done in just a little while and get your ball rolling and ready to go.
Exactly. One group that we see a lot in the spring semester are transfer students.
Yes.
Brittany actually does most of the transfer credit evaluations, and it could be credits. We also don't have a time limit on credits, so it could be credits from a previous degree, or you went to school 20 years ago. We want to give you credit for what you've done. We don't want to make you retake a course that you've already taken with a grade of C or higher. So you would request your official transcripts from your previous college or university and send them to us, and we will do an evaluation of those credits and let you know what will transfer and what won't. In the spring semester, we do see some students that maybe went somewhere this fall and maybe wasn't the best fit for them and they want to come closer to home. We're a great option for that, as well as people with previous degrees. We have some questions. So I do encourage you, if you're watching, to ask questions, and if you're watching this as a recording, please still ask questions and we'll do our best to answer them. How do I get a transcript from high school if it was a long time ago?
That's a great question. So some people maybe don't have a college degree yet, so we do still require that you show proof of your high school graduation. We usually recommend trying the high school first. So even if you went to high school in the 70s, I saw a 70s high school transcript the other day. If you went to high school in the 70s and you feel like there's no way they're going to have record of it, they'll have record of it. Or if your school, if you went to a school that no longer exists, we usually recommend you reach out to the Board of Education. They have to keep record of it, no matter how long ago it was. They have to keep record that you graduated. So I would recommend anyone who's going through that process who may be concerned that it was a while ago to start early, because if they have to dig through some archives, it may take a few extra days, but it's definitely not a hassle for them. They do it all the time.
We also, sometimes transcripts are on microfilm or destroyed in a flood or a fire. We've heard all of those things. Yeah. And if that's the case, we will take something from the high school stating that you did indeed graduate. It can be on their letterhead, an official letter from the school. So again, trying to make it as easy as possible. I haven't ever really run into a case where someone couldn't get something to show proof of high school graduation. Right. And that's a federal requirement that we follow here, so you do have to get that in, unless you have a previous bachelor's degree, in which case we would waive the high school proof. Yes. Another question we have is, do you have to pay for the AccuPlacer?
So we spot the first AccuPlacer for anyone who's ready to come in and take it with us. So we definitely, the first time it's totally free. I would say that if you are looking to come in and take the AccuPlacer, I would cut yourself out about an hour and a half worth of time. And there's 2 sections. We do require English for acceptance. And then math, we do advise you take it, though it is for placement primarily rather than acceptance. So the English score, SAT score, as well as the AccuPlacer score is what we need to accept you, and then your math score we use just to place you in a class that fits best for you. So we cover the cost for your first AccuPlacer testing, and then if you decide, you come in and you take it and you're like, oh, I didn't get the score that I wanted, do a little bit of study and come back in, even for spring, it's a $10 retest fee. So it's not an outrageous cost, I don't think, and our boys at the front desk here, or folks at the front desk will be happy to talk with you about that if you do need to come back and retest.
And if you live across the state, let's say you live in Northern Maine, you could take the AccuPlacer at Northern Maine Community College. Any of the community colleges, most universities and adult ed centers as well. And if you live out of state, you can most likely find it at a local community college, and we can help you with that. If that local college is going to charge you an outrageous fee, we'll cover the cost of that, and that college will use our account to take it. So again, we're trying to make this easy on you. If you live 3 hours away, you don't need to drive to SMCC to take the AccuPlacer. You can take it closer to home, and then just get us the scores.
Sorry.
No.
We also offer it at the Brunswick campus. If you're closer to Brunswick, you can take it there. You just give them a call and see what their hours are like. And as Amy was saying, if you live in Massachusetts, or if you live in Florida, if you live in Florida and they don't have the AccuPlacer there, we can set that up for you. Just let us know. We're happy to.
Yeah, we set that up with testing centers at colleges all the time.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the process. Okay, a student comes in, they bring all of their stuff in, they're accepted. What's their next step to enroll for the spring?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if we're looking at spring, once we receive all of your documents, it takes us a couple days to process them. So, I don't know, give us 48 hours or so to just get through everything, process it, make sure it's in the system. And then what I recommend, what happens is we'll start to generate an accept letter for you. So an accept letter will go out in the mail. You'll get some information on paper, congratulations, we're so happy to have you with us. And you'll get sort of your next steps in a physical checklist. But what I recommend at this time of year, where we're getting really close to the spring semester, is to reach out to us. Give us a call, email us. I answer emails every day, so just give us a shout and we'll let you know what your process is looking like. So if you applied today, maybe call us on Friday and say, hey, are my documents completed? And at that point, we'll let you know, and then we'll want you to get signed up for an orientation session. So if you are a new student who's never been to school before, you're required to come to an orientation session. And these are 3-hour sessions where you meet with our advising staff, you get to know a few other of your students who will be starting school with you, and you pick out your classes. So you go through the whole, everything. You start with information about the college, everything you need to know. We'll help you pick out classes, and you leave that day not only with your classes picked out, but if you want to apply for housing, you can apply for housing that day. If you want to talk to financial aid is available to talk to that day as well. So the orientations are really excellent if you are not familiar with SMCC, because it's your first time to really dig your toes in and get to know us, and we can get to know you a little bit. And if you're a transfer student and you have more than 18 college credits, which means usually you've been to school for 1 to 2 semesters, we understand that you have some college experience, so maybe you don't need a full session. You are more than welcome to kind of work through the process and pick out some classes on your own at that point. We do have some materials that you can use on our website, on our student portal, which will help you navigate our portal, teach you more about what a first semester will look like for us. And so you'll kind of navigate that on your own, with the knowledge that we do have advising available if you're really stuck and you're like, ooh, I really don't know what this means. We have staff here who you can connect with to make sure that you're, look over your schedule, make sure you picked out the right classes, make sure everything's looking good. So you have 2 options if you're a transfer student with more than 18 credits. I always advise coming to the orientation sessions, honestly. As somebody who, when I left and I started coming here, I had enough credits to not have to come to an advising session, but I was way out of my league. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't really ready. Coming to that orientation session really helped me not only see who I was going to be going to school with, but also connect with somebody. So I knew when I came to SMCC, I recognized a face. Somebody who I actually still work with today, which is really cool, but I recognized the face. I at least knew somebody.
Absolutely. We really encourage orientation, and we'll walk you through it. Yeah. At this time of year, I don't want you to wait for your acceptance letter, which you get. We'll send out weekly. We'll also send you an email with your next steps, but we do want to move rather quickly because classes are filling up. So we do want you to get the schedule that you want, that works best for you and your life. We have weekend classes, evening, online, in person in our South Portland and Brunswick campuses. So there's a lot of options to get you what you need for your degree or for your prerequisites for another program or whatever reason why you're here. We want you to be successful. Brittany mentioned housing, and it's unique in Maine that community colleges have housing. 5 of our community colleges have housing. And we do have housing available for the spring semester. We do things a little differently. You go to orientation, register for classes, and then apply for housing. It's not too late, but we're getting there. Classes begin on January 14th. SMCC does not have a deadline. We practice what's called rolling admission, which means you can apply at any time and get accepted, but we'd really like to get you accepted by January 11th. That's the Friday before classes begin.
Yes.
We don't want you to start classes once classes have started.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want you to have missed a class.
Right.
So keep that in mind. While it's not a hard and fast deadline, we do want you to have everything in that week before classes. I encourage you to ask questions. We do see, I think we have another question here. It says, what if I'm really just looking for a better job? Can you help?
So, I mean, yeah, we have over 40 programs here, so that ranges from a certificate program to a 2-year associate's degree program to workforce development to non-credit. So we have a really big range of the types of classes you can take here at SMCC. I would say our workforce development is kind of like a big thing right now. We have somebody, whoever is asking this question, it's a question we're being asked frequently right now. So we have a lot of people that are coming in who may not need a 2-year or beyond degree, and who are looking just to change avenues a little bit, or who maybe do want a 2-year associate's degree in something new. Those are the types of people that I work with every day. Probably the most that come through my door are people who are like, I've been working as a waitress for 40 years, but
a long time.
Who've been waitressing forever, or who have been in a field that's kind of transitioning out and who are ready to get their hands back into something. And those are the people that I'm really excited to work with. I mean, I'm excited to work with everybody, but I'm really excited to work with folks who are like taking this big leap to come back to school and get ready to change their career. And this is a good place to do it. We have some really excellent faculty members here who are trained so well in their fields and who work in the field. So these people really have an understanding of what you need to move forward and, you know, to progress in a productive way. So our faculty are excellent at getting you that training that you need, and all the staff here are going to be doing the same thing, from our career office, our career counselor here, to our advising and transfer staff if you think you want to go on somewhere else. This is a good place to get started. I would say if you are questioning a transition and you think you want to get into a new field, maybe you're not sure what that means, maybe you sort of know what your interests are, but you're not quite sure what SMCC can offer you, please call us. Or email us, or stop by. That's really what I'm here for, is to answer those questions to see if we have something that will fit in with your needs. And if it's a 1 class, or if it's 1 semester, or if it's a 2-year degree, we're here for everybody in those cases. So I would say, again, I'm the kind of person that's like, I want to know somebody, I want to see somebody. So me personally, I would just drop in, but we answer phone calls all day. So if you just want to give us a call and say, hey, I want to be an electrician, what does that mean? I will tell you what that means here at SMCC.
Absolutely,
sure.
And we can't talk about why come to SMCC without talking about price and affordability. Whether a lot of companies pay tuition reimbursement, financial aid, of course. We want you to fill out the FAFSA. It's not too late to do that for the spring, although you want to get it moving.
Yes.
But we're affordable. Even if you were paying out of pocket for the spring semester, we're only $94 a credit hour and $3,800 a year for tuition and fees.
Yeah.
So we are the place to go to make that change, to have a new career, to start a new life. I'm so excited. I work with health science students. When I see someone who's been struggling for a long time finally just get into the nursing program and start, and they're a hard worker and they're going to come out and make a great salary and a great impact on people's lives, because of us, because of this college and what we offer. And it's why I work here, for sure.
And I'm the same way. I know I get paid to say this, but I really believe in what we do. That's why I'm here. And I think that this was not something I ever expected to do, but I'm here because I really think that this is a good community for people who are looking to transition into something new. I was in the same boat. I was nervous. I didn't even think I wanted to go to college at the time. I was pretty young, but I took a year off after high school. So when I came here, I just was surprised how welcoming and how supportive the people were here. And I think that we try to keep that tradition up here. So if you're somebody who's you know, like Amy was saying before, if you're looking to transfer and you're not really, you know, your first semester was a little rocky, or you're wanting to go back to school, then this is a good place to make that transition.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other questions we get asked a lot. We get asked questions about our health science programs and if there's wait lists for those. And wait list sometimes seems like a bad word. It seems negative, but what I love about how we handle our health science competitive admissions is that if you meet our prerequisites, you get a spot in nursing, respiratory therapy, cardiovascular, radiography. What am I missing?
Paramedicine, medical assistant.
Yeah. So there are some colleges out there where you have to meet a lot of prerequisites, and then they give points and take the best students or the highest achieving students or who scored higher on a test. Whereas we accept you if you meet those prerequisites, and you can find those all on our website under admissions. Go to health science applicants. You can see what those prerequisites are. And in just a semester or two, you'll be starting a really rewarding career. And I would say the same is true for all of our programs. If you apply to HVAC, precision machining, horticulture, whatever it may be, you'll get right into that program and get to start taking classes right away. Sorry.
I just wanted to say, to sort of springboard off what you were saying, if you're interested in the health sciences, I just want to say this. If you're listening and you are interested in a health science, we start health sciences in the pre-health science program. So if you're interested in nursing, you start in the pre-nursing program. You don't have to have all the prerequisites completed before you apply to SMCC. We encourage you to apply to SMCC now, even if you think, you know, by fall you want to get started on those prereqs. Apply now so we can open your application, get your files started, process your documents, help you keep a checklist in order, and don't hesitate to apply now. I get emails all the time that say, oh, I haven't taken the TEAS exam yet. Does that mean I can't apply? No, you can apply. You can apply, go through that process. We start you in that early program so that you can take the prerequisites and get those classes covered by the financial aid while you're prepping to get into your clinicals.
Absolutely, that's funny. That was the question. It said, even if there's a wait, can I take other classes? And absolutely, you can take your core academic courses or any prerequisites that you need. We also have information sessions for all of those programs, and those are on our website as well. Our spring dates will be up very soon, so we encourage you to come and check us out. I do want to talk about January 8th. January 8th, we will be hosting an on-the-spot decision day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that is a day that you can walk in, you can have your application fee waived, you can apply right on the spot, you can take the AccuPlacer if you need to. We ask you to bring in your proof of high school and any other maybe college transcripts you have. And that is really a great day to come in, one-stop shopping, to do everything you need. And hopefully when you leave here, we can have you set up with an orientation session so that you can come the following week to start classes. We'll be doing another Facebook Live event on the 7th at the same time, 7:30, to really talk about that and rev up for the spring semester. It's an exciting time to be here, and we are open. Our offices in the campus center are open during the holidays.
Yeah, definitely don't hesitate. If you think even the slightest inkling that you want to get started this spring, absolutely do not hesitate to apply now.
I have a question. We have a question, and it says, can you mail a rented book back? The bookstore was closed. We live in Auburn. We're home for the semester. What can we do?
I think that's a great question. I have not experienced that before.
I'm not sure either.
I would, if you want to leave your information or send a question to mail admissions, I would be happy to research that for you and find out the answer and let you know as soon as I know. I would run down to the bookstore now, but they're closed, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want to email admissions@smccme.edu and remind me of this question and let me know who you are, I would be happy to find out the answer for you.
Absolutely. That's one thing for sure. All of our offices, we want you to come here in the campus center. We're coming to you right now from the advising office. This is the place to come. If you don't know where to go, come to admissions, come to advising. And if we don't know the answer, we're going to find out for you. And this is a perfect example of that.
For sure.
All right, well,
Great.
we thank you for joining us. We hope that you've learned something, especially how easy it is to apply to SMCC. We look forward to seeing you in the spring semester. We look to forward to helping you with any questions you might have.
Yes.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yes, thank you for having
Thank you.
me.
Have a nice night.